From News Channel 5, where the news comes first, this is News Channel 5 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Stephanie Gore.
And I'm Tom Hellick. As you can see, we are in our new surroundings tonight, our new home. After all of the updates we've been giving you for the past several days, our new set is ready to go.
We hope you agree with us that it was worth the wait.
We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. But first, we have breaking news up top at this late hour tonight. A woman who was shot in the head by her estranged husband has died.
42-year-old Juanita Bashaw from Bangor, New York, died at Fletcher Allen Healthcare last night. She was flown there late Thursday after police say she was shot in the head outside her son's apartment complex in the village of Malone.
Police say the shooter was her 49-year-old husband, Stephen, who then turned the gun on himself and committed suicide. Police say the two were still married, but have been living apart for several years.
Well, search teams spent today in the woods looking for any sign of an elderly woman from Westford who's been missing for days. Tonight, her family is holding out hope that she's okay. News Channel 5's Mia Moran has the story.
I'm worried about her, very worried about her.
When Jean 70 returned home Thursday from a doctor's appointment, she knew something was wrong. Her 78-year-old mother, who suffers from Alzheimer's, was nowhere to be found in their house.
But we weren't really concerned. We thought, she'd probably get so far and then call us to come get her.
When Mary Wilcox didn't show up by the next morning, Jean and her husband Mike called police. Rescue crews quickly started combing the area around Wilcox's home off Cambridge Road. Using ATVs and canines, they searched more than 1,600 acres looking for any clues. On Saturday, a hunter told police he spotted someone matching Wilcox's description in the woods north of her home.
At that point, we got hasty teams out in that area to do searching that went on well into yesterday evening and into the night.
But they found no sign of her. Police do not suspect foul play and say despite recent rain and colder temperatures, they're confident they will find Mary Wilcox alive.
We feel that there's still a chance that we will be able to do a rescue if we locate her.
Wilcox's family is holding out hope too.
Although I would prefer to think that she's off on a train or a bus than out in the woods, and especially in this cold weather. I just hope she's all right.
In Westford, Mia Moran, News Channel 5.
Her family says Wilcox walked off without her medications. Police say she was last seen wearing a tan jacket, brown pants, and brown shoes. If you have any information, call State Police. The number is 878-7111.
A man is dead tonight after he was attacked by a deer. Police say 43-year-old Ronald Dona from Ellenburg, New York, was attacked this morning by a buck that he kept in captivity. Dona had a license to keep deer on his property. Police say tonight it's still unclear what may have prompted the attack.
A 23-year-old is facing sexual assault charges. Police say he had sex with a teenage girl. They say Tyler Wade from Wallingford, Vermont, met the 15-year-old who's been reported as missing last night. They say he took her back to his apartment, gave her alcohol, and then had sex with her. He is in jail tonight. All right, it is time for the weather, and we have to say, Tom Mester, not exactly the best weekend out there.
Well, we certainly were looking at some wet stuff, on again, off again rain. From time to time, the rain was coming down at a pretty good clip, and temperatures all over the place. Saturday in the 50s. You know, the high on Sunday was 40 degrees in the Champlain Valley. Let's talk about the rain totals we have seen. Saranac Lake up over an inch over the 2-day period for the weekend in Lebanon as well. About 0.8 in Plattsburgh, Burlington 0.6, and a little bit less in Rutland. Well, Storm Tracker 5000 and the Super Doppler Radar Network. Here's what's going on for you right now. The good news is as we continue to see some of this stuff lifting off to the north and actually west a little bit, it looks as though things are falling apart. So let's get a little bit closer and show you some of the activity here where the light rain for the most part, moderate in some spots, coming down in places like Newport, Derby Center, right on over to Richmond, and also as you check out Shelburne, it's wet in, Westport, also over towards Scroon Lake as well. If this trend continues, and it looks like it is going to, we're going to be in okay shape tomorrow. Make no mistake, we're going to see a lot of clouds out there, but it looks as though the wetness not quite as bad as some of the stuff we saw over the weekend. I'll explain coming up in your Weather Plus forecast. We'll see you in just a bit here.
Okay, thanks, Tom. The ski resorts are hoping all that rain turns to snow. The mountains are getting ready to open for the season. Whiteface had started making snow this month, but had to shut the guns down after 4 days because it's too warm. It should open, though, a week from Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, according to a spokesperson. But that all depends on the weather over the next couple of weeks.
Well, some store owners say the wet weather we've been having this weekend has had a chilling effect on their business. Main Street in Lake Placid was quieter than usual today. The rain and the cold kept people away from the downtown. And even with a big hockey tournament going on in the village, businesses say they were taking a hit.
It's been slow, very slow. Like you said, the weather, I think, had a lot to do with it. There was a lot of teams in town, the Can-Am hockey, and just didn't bring in the business that we thought it would.
The Canadian-American Hockey Youth Tournament started last month and goes right through December. The U.S. House is scheduled to vote tomorrow whether to designate another 42,000 acres of the Green Mountain National Forest as wilderness. The original bill called for 49,000 acres, but it was scaled back after Vermont Governor Jim Douglas objected. The bill has already passed in the Senate.
There's nearly $1 million up for grabs to give a local downtown a new look. Property owners in Plattsburgh's downtown can apply for nearly $1 million. The Empire State Development Corporation's Restore New York program is giving 9 businesses and apartment houses on Clinton Street a chance to fix things up. They can apply for $100,000 each to renovate their old buildings.
And the cost of renovating these buildings are really prohibitive for property owners. It's just so overwhelming. So that this kind of a program helps them with their cash flows in order to make it happen.
Half of the money is from a grant. The other half is a loan. The money is expected to be available early next year.
Photos of a weaker, thinner Fidel Castro have led some U.S. officials to believe the Cuban dictator is dying. They believe Castro has cancer of either the stomach, pancreas, or colon, and that the 80-year-old leader most likely won't live through 2007. Castro's brother, who is now running the country, has declined to say when the ailing dictator may return to power.
Another grim day in Iraq. 75 more bodies have been found in Baghdad and Bakuba, most of them likely victims of sectarian violence. Also, a pair of suicide bombs ripped through a crowd of would-be police recruits in Baghdad, killing at least 35.
White House aides say President Bush would welcome new ideas about the unpopular war in Iraq, even from Democrats he had branded as soft on terrorism. Chief of Staff Josh Bolton, who made the rounds on the morning talk shows today, says the U.S. needs a fresh approach.
K-A-Q-I-K-I, za, short for pizza.
Say what? Still ahead tonight, word up.
We'll tell you what brought some of the world's best wordsmiths to the Champlain Valley. You're watching News Channel 5, where the news comes first.